I thought I was the biggest guy until I saw him. So
No, that's all you, bro.
I need to get some tips on how he get that big, man. What do you think is the most important part of your training, nutrition that helped you to build your physique?
I think the biggest thing about it is consistency. Whether that's training, whether it's nutrition, no matter the part. A lot of people don't take either one of them consistent enough to really make a difference. You know what I mean? So somebody might give you a new training plan, but your nutrition is not consistent enough to see the benefits of the training plan, or vice versa. So I would say consistency no matter what, because I mean, at the end of the day, 70% nutrition, 30% training, you know? And either one of them are off balance, you're never gonna be at 100%.
Okay, speaking about nutrition, do you think it's important for people to like track their calories or just to eat healthy generally? And
I think for the majority of people, it's just to eat healthy generally. But for the niche amount of people that are really looking for a specific goal or are very hardcore about what they're going after, tracking is almost necessary, almost until you get to the point where you don't have to. So I would say what happened best for me is I would tell people this all the time, it's the same game plan I give everybody. I'll say track what you're currently eating to see how far you are from what you should be eating, you know what I mean? And after that, you'll see how much more or less you need to eat. And then after a couple of weeks of that, if you're eating the same thing every single day, you'll know how much that your body needs to get to wherever you're trying to get to.
right, when it comes to training, do you think it's better to do like 2 sets or 4 sets?
I mean, it's subjective, you know what I mean? It depends on your goals. I wouldn't put a rep range or a set range on anything, because I always tell people when you get in the gym, you want to push the most amount of weight for the most amount of reps possible, you know what I mean? I try to keep everything between 8 to 15 depending on the exercise, but depending on what I'm doing, if I'm doing heavy pyramids of a workout, I'm doing 20, 15, 12, 8, 20, certain things like that, it varies. But, you know, depending on your goal, whether it's strength building, anywhere between 8 to 12 heavyweight. If it's more hypertrophy building, I still wouldn't say go anything above like anything too crazy, but like 12 to 15 to 20 of really heavyweight, but don't let the thought process of, oh, lighter weight, more reps be the determining factor of your training.
What do you think is the most overrated exercise, or are there any exercises that you personally don't do?
That I think are overrated?
Like the squat, the bench press. A lot of people say flat bench press is not good, squats are not good, deadlifts. What is your opinion?
So from a bodybuilder sense, I would say the only one that's overrated is really a deadlift. You know what I mean? Because from a very exertion factor, deadlift is the only one that's not like specifically targeting anything that you're trying to like build, and the risk to reward in terms of going heavy is the only thing from a bodybuilder sense that may look overrated, but I do all of them. So it's kind of like, I can't tell somebody it's overrated and I do the same thing, you know what I mean?
Right. What do you think is the best exercise for building your legs? If you could do only one exercise.
Only one? It would probably be just a barbell squat. So I would say, or barbell squat or a leg press, depending on how your body, you know, functions and everything. Because I used to be very heavy on hack squats for like quad development and then pendulum squats, but very recently I started doing more back squats again, and I've been feeling my legs start, you know what I'm saying, having that same stimulus like it used to.
Right. And what about your chest?
Chest? Funny enough, bro, I would say a lot of people don't understand that the upper chest is what gives you the look that you're going for. So I would say the one exercise I would consistently do is an incline bench press, and then from there, a seated cable press. I've been liking those a lot recently, but the number one chest growth exercise for me is always going to be a bench press.
What do you think is the biggest mistake a lot of people make in the gym that's stopping them from getting the most amount of results?
Fear. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't understand, like, everybody that's in the gym now, we all started at the same spot. We all have failed exercises. We all have not known how to use a piece of equipment, have been doing exercises wrong and everything, and fear is what keeping people out of the gym. So the mistakes beginners make are letting the fear dictate how they operate in the gym. Never be afraid to ask questions, never be afraid to fail, never be afraid to try new things, because that's what's holding a lot of people back.
Someone is going to be watching this right now and they're probably like struggling with weight loss. They've been thinking about joining the gym, and they just cannot take that first step. What would be your advice for them?
The first step is always the hardest, you know what I mean? Once you get into the gym, you're going to be able to create a routine of consistency, but getting inside the door is the hardest first step. So once you make that breakthrough, you'll be on your way.
Do you train people? Do
I train people? Yeah, I do online training, yeah.
If a client tells you that, I'm following everything you tell me, but I'm not losing any weight.
It goes one of two ways. One, I always lean on the side of clients are lying. You know what I mean? Because if you were following everything to a T, you will be seeing the results that you're looking for. But on the other side, I never tell somebody to dictate their progression by the weight, on the number on the scale. It's always about how you look, how you feel. Because if you're losing weight and you're losing fat and your body is recompensating in a way where you're seeing your muscles a lot more, people don't understand that once you start building muscle and losing fat, your weight may not change, but the muscle tissue weighs more than the fat tissue. You know what I'm saying? So you may not see the exact results that you want, but as long as your body is responding to what you're doing, you're on your right track.
You've been doing this obviously for many years, and you have one of the greatest physiques. What would you say fitness has done for you just overall in life?
Honestly, I would say it's changed my life. It's put me in a position that I am right now. When I was in college, When I first got into the gym, I just finished playing soccer. I didn't go to school to play soccer. I needed a way to keep myself healthy, keep myself active, and that's how I found the gym. And through that, being able to show, like, explain and teach to people the things that I wish that I had when I first started has landed me here. Grace, all glory to God, and, you know, put me in this position. And yeah, it's really changed my life.
Thanks very much, man.
Of course, man.
Appreciate your
Thank
time,
you.
bro. Yes, sir.